Let's go to the board. It's brought to you by FanDuel. It's FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. All lines from FanDuel on Thursday. And we are going to start not with a Thursday or a Friday play like we've done. There isn't one, and I don't want to force it.
This is a primo game. Delivery of the week?
Delivery of the week.
It's brought to you by Hungry Howie's Flavored Crust Pizza, the official pizza of Cash the Ticket.
Top 10 matchup in the Big Ten.
Number 3 Ohio State laying 4.5 as they host number 7 Penn State. Big noon on Fox, which I think is big bullshit. This should be a night game or a 3:30 kick. I digress. This screams 24-20 one way or the other. When I started to do the cap on this, and we look at this, you take Ohio State, 94th running the football, only about 3.6, 3.7 yards a carry. You go to the offensive side for Penn State, just no explosiveness. They don't throw it down the field. Allen and Singleton, who are stud 1-2 combo at running back, no explosives in the ground game. Mm-hmm. They just kind of bleed you to death. They lean on you. Going to throw a little 6-yard pass, going to get a little 4-yard run. We're going to get a 3-yard run and a 5-yard run and a 7-yard pass. Look, my initial thought in this was, okay, all of us have doubts about Ohio State. And I'm starting to wonder that, maybe Boogeyman doesn't exist here. Maybe they don't have this other gear. Yet, the market is paying them big respect. Mm-hmm. For instance, Ohio State is still only catching 3.5 in the future line against Michigan, where right now that looks like a complete mismatch. Penn State might have the best defense in America. I've been saying that since August. I think I've at least been mostly validated there. Their corners, OSU receivers, I'm not telling you anybody can shut Marvin Harrison down, but they've got a pair of them. And Manny Diaz is going to heat them up. McCord is not going to have a ton of time. That offensive line for OSU is a problem. So I guess what I'm saying is everything guided me two ways here. Either or both Penn State getting the 4.5 or the under.
But everybody's betting the under. To the tune of 98% of the money is on the under.
That is.
Because everybody sees what you see. Two teams that could get bogged down in a close matchup, which is why the better play.
Don't you say the over.
No.
Oh, thank God.
Penn State and the points.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm going rogue a little bit because games in Columbus, James Franklin 0-9 against top 10 teams on the road. OSU is the right side if you believe the SP+. OSU is the right side if you like betting against the public. Penn State hasn't won in Columbus since 2011. Everything points to Ohio State, but I want to go rogue and bet Penn State because of the football reasons. Penn State can get home, pressuring quarterbacks on 50.5% of dropbacks.
And if Ohio State can't run it, which they're not at 3.7 a carry, and I get you in a passing down, which allows Manny Diaz to bring the pressure looks, to put McCord under duress, and then I factor in that when I blitz, when I pressure, my corners are good enough to cover, but they're also going to know the ball's coming out quick. Mm-hmm. It's a recipe for a lower scoring game. And if you like the under, you generally like the underdog. So, yes. And look, I understand, if you bet this game preseason, you were catching 9.5 or 10.
10 even, yeah.
But early in the week, there was a 5 and a 5.5 out there. 4.5 is still a powerful number to me. So if you're asking me, I got to pick between these two, I'll take Penn State getting the 4.5. Yeah. I just think it's going to be a close game.
You mentioned their corners, their secondary, some of the numbers, and some of this is tough because they haven't played a great schedule either. But Penn State's the number one pass efficiency defense in America. The gap from 1 to 2 is the same as the gap from 2 to 25.
What?
In pass efficiency defense.
Oh, my God.
So, again, some of that's their corners, some of that's they get home. And they're the number one sack team in the Big Ten last year and this year, and it's Manny Diaz that you give the credit to. Yeah.
Great stat by you.
So I feel like it's Penn State with the 4.5. Because, again, James Franklin might fuck this up at the end. It's in his DNA. He's human heartburn.
Almost a mortal lock.
Yeah, but then you have the 4.5, and you feel good at the end of the day.
For me, the only, if you want to go the Buckeye side of things, McCord has gone on the road against a ranked team in big spots. Who's Drew Aller had to face? What has been asked of him? And this whole idea, I'm not the guy asking Franklin at the presser, hey, you think you ought to just throw it deep?
That exchange for people who didn't see it?
I understood.
Theater, cinema.
I understood what the guy was trying
He
to
just
get
phrased
at.
it terribly.
It was horrible.
He's like, it's like Madden, right? You just go and throw the fly route.
But my
coach is like, we never just tell our guy to throw it deep with no reading of the coverage.
But my point would be, we're what 6-7 weeks into the season. Aller has. Do they have a completion of over 40 yards in the air?
So they are dead last in 40-yard plays in college football. And if you just want to 40-yard plays are fluky, 20 plus is like the rule for explosives. They're 129th. So
I'm going to lean on the defense. Look, this is not going to be some huge play. This is going to be a standard bet. Just because it's a big game doesn't mean it's a great betting game. But I like 4.5. I'm going to take Penn State. I still lean under, but what's our rule? Hey, sometimes the public does win.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, here's my question. Can you build a case to the over?
Ohio State's, I'm going to attempt to do it. Ohio State's receivers are elite. The best of the best in college football. Even great college corners aren't going to contain them for 4 quarters. McCord will pop a couple big plays.
Yeah.
Aller has the ability to do the same. So I read a piece in The Athletic. They were talking about personnel. Coaches don't think Ohio State's secondary is nearly as good as it's been. So maybe this is a spot for Aller to hit a couple chunk plays through the air. He's due. That'd be the case for the over, right?
Well, and Penn State doesn't give up sacks. That left tackle there is going to go top 5.
Yep.
I don't want to butcher his name. What's his last name?
It starts with an F.
Fumatimi?
Sure. But it's not just him. It's the whole line. 200 yards a game, and they don't give up sacks. I mean, they are a unit up front, which is why I feel like you can go on the road, hit the quarterback, protect your quarterback, run the ball. And I do think they have the better quarterback in this game. I do think Aller's better than McCord.
Olumuyiwa Fashanu?
Fashanu.
Whatever. Guy going top 5 in NFL is what I would put on the back of his jersey. He's fantastic. So continue. I'm going to take Penn State. I'm going to take the points.
We both are on the Nittany Lions.
Okay.